Hey everyone, I'm out in the garage today, so I'm gonna do a little video. Something a little off topic, but I mean, I'm into vehicles a lot too, so might as well do a little video on what I'm doing. My beige tracker, the 2002 I got there, the chassis is pretty well shot on her. So I picked up another tracker with the body bad, and the chassis was pretty good. And you'll see it in the background there. And I'm getting ready to do a chassis swap on her, but before I do that, I'm going to get everything done to her, like everything I could think of, so when I get it done, it's going to last me a couple of years, hopefully, before I has any more troubles. Hopefully, anyway. So what I'm doing today is putting a 3-inch body lift on it, a homemade body lift. I mean, pretty well anyone could do this as long as you can weld. I mean, there's not much to it, really. I've seen other people doing it online and on YouTube and that. I watch videos on it, and people were putting square stock sideways, and yes, it works fine, but it's a little harder to get your body mount bolts up into the body because there's only that little hole through the square stock that you get your fingers in with a wrench there. And I think I came up with a better idea, so I'm going to show you what I come up with here. Alright, so this is where I'm at. I got some pipe. Is actually pipe for basement jacks. Actually, I'll come over here and show you exactly what it came off of. But it's nice thick ball pipe, so that's it right here. You can see with the holes in it. And it's going to make a nice body lift. So back over here to what I'm doing. I'm going to start at the back here. And I'm going to start with this one. And as you can see, that fits on there pretty good. And then a washer gets welded to that, and that's what the body mount sit on. And on the tracker, where the studs come off with the studs stick out of the body of the tracker. There's only so much threads, so you can't use, say, like hockey pucks or anything like that, because then you got no threads left to put your nuts onto to hold it onto the chassis of the tracker. So with this, you can go underneath. You could put your rubber bushing in here first with the metal washer, and then to stick the nut up through the hole and tighten it up, and it brings up on the other side of this. So, in my opinion, it's a great idea. So, I'm going to get to some grinding there now. What I'm going to do, I already cleaned off the pipe there. I used a bench grinder to clean that off. You know, cleaner the metal, the better the welds, right? And I ain't no professional welder, I'll tell you that. So for the cab mount part, what I'm going to use there now is a worn out flap disc on the grinder. And see if I can get her cleaned up a bit, and then start on the welding. Alright, so that should be cleaned up pretty good there now. So time to get the welder out. I'm not running argon gas because, I mean, the price of it down here in Newfoundland is outrageous now. I mean, it's just crazy, right? So I'm just going to use the regular flux core wire and weld her up. And I already did this on the beige tracker on the old chassis that's on it there now. But it was a little harder to do because the body was on the chassis, so it didn't come out that great. And the welds broke on a few of them a couple of times. And you know, at least this way, I could do a good job on it because it's easy to see. There's nothing in my way, so it should come out pretty good. So here goes nothing with the welding, I guess. Okay, so what I got here is an air liquid MIG welder. It's an M130, and actually I find it quite a bit better than the Lincoln. I know most people deal with a Lincoln welder, and I got 3 on the other side of the garage, and they're all broke. I mean, got like a lot of use out of them in 1 year, and then they break down. So I went with the air liquid one, and I had this now about 4 years and no issues whatsoever with it. So it's been really good for welding. I mean, it could be better if I had the gas, but you know, it do weld good with this. Penetrates good and everything. Nice flow most times, as long as your metal's clean. And I've been buying the small rolls at Canadian Tire of MIG wire, but they're just gone crazy in price now. Like at Canadian Tire, they're gone triple in price in the last year. You used to get two 2-pound rolls for $29 on sale. Now those two 2-pound rolls regular price is $99. So I went on Amazon and you get 10-pound rolls on there for 40 bucks. So I mean, that's what I went with. So when this 2-pound roll here gives out, which is going to be real soon, I'll be putting a 10-pound roll in and put some insight on what I find is the wire like that it gets on Amazon. So I'm going to hook up my grounder now and make sure I'm set up good with my settings here on my welder and start doing some welding. A good ground is very important, and that's the only issue I got with this is my ground, the spring is kind of weak in it. So what I'm going to do soon is grab one of my old booster cable sets I got there where the cable is bad and use the booster cable end and put on it, and that'll solve that problem. Alright, this got 4 voltage settings. I'm going to put it on 3, I guess. Try it there. Wire speed on 4.5, and then we'll see what happens. Turn the wire speed up to 5 1/4. She's working good, but not good enough. Yeah, so it looks like it's coming out pretty good there. About as good as you can get without gas, of course, but you know, it's penetrating good, so it's gonna definitely hold up. And I'm gonna finish that off now, and I'll show you. Well, first of all, that's gonna be welded on the top after. I gotta make sure it's centered properly. It's all gotta be centered. If not, then everything's gonna be crooked inside there, the mount and all that, right? So she's centered pretty good there. She's pretty straight. As I'm gonna get it. So I'll finish that off, and what I'm gonna do is show you what I use for the chassis and for the mounts and that to paint it to make it last good. I use this stuff here. It's Por 15. It's a little expensive. It's close to 100 bucks a quart, but a quart will do a full chassis. We'll give it 2 coats, and I'll tell you, there's nothing as good as this yet that I used. I mean, this is as good as it gets from what I know, right? It holds the rust away amazing, like really good, and it goes on easy. You just put it on with a brush, give it a thin coat, then you let it dry, and then give it another coat, and good to go. So yeah, if you ever goes at any projects like this, you might want to stock up on some of that stuff. So I'm going to finish this off now, and now I can use the mount as a ground, so it's out of my way, and do some more welding. And maybe put the light on the other side so I can see what I'm doing. My helmet here is pretty dirty. It's hard to see through it, so I gotta have a flashlight close by. I mean, time to get another helmet, I think. Or maybe I'll just run the high-speed buffer over the lens on this one and see if that can fix her up a bit. But for now, I'll get welding on this. Alright, so I'll show you how it came out. I mean, I know it's not perfect welds, but it's not bad. It penetrated good. I still got to do a bit in the front there. But yeah. It's welded all the ways around, which is more than what I could have did before with the body on there. So I'll be taking the Por 15 to that after, do inside and everything. And before I weld the top on, the washer here, I need to put the mounts in, the bottom mounts, which is right here. I had to grind it down a bit because it wouldn't fit inside, but I grinded it down on the bench grinder a bit and got it fitting perfect. The only problem I got is the factory bottom mount washer. It fits in there, but it's really close to the sides. So I'm going to go downtown and buy some probably stainless ones, a little smaller than this. And I'd rather have a bit smaller there, because that way it got no worries of chafing inside on the pipe and making a creaking sound all the time. I don't know about anybody else, but it's one thing I don't like is a bunch of noises. And you're wondering where it's coming from when you're out in the woods off-roading. So yeah, I'll get that all done up and get on to the next one, which is right over there. So yeah, that's it for now. I'm going to take a little break and go downtown and get some washers, I suppose. Okay, so I'll add this into the video too. With this jack stand pipe I'm using here, I got a tube cutter off of Amazon. Takes a while to cut through it because, as you can see, it's pretty thick, but I mean, the tube cutter does do it. And what I did is, you can see where the little roller is. That goes right to the roller. I know the camera won't focus in good. And I want to go a little better than 3 inches, and that's exactly where I am. Just a little bit more than 3 inches. So that's perfect. Because that's what I did. I had like 3 1/8 of an inch lift on the body now. That's on the tracker now on the chassis. So I'm going to do the exact same again, so I know everything's going to line up right. So the reason I use this tube cutter, in case you're wondering, instead of using a grinder, is a grinder don't really do a straight cut. I mean, I don't know if anybody else can do it on pipe like this, but for some reason I can never get it perfectly straight. And with a job like this, I want it straight as can be, because it keeps everything square, right? So yeah, I can't really cut that while I got the camera in my hand here, so I'm gonna get at that and put that on the next spot. Okay, so I just got the second mount welded on there, and it's coming out pretty good, I gotta say. Only got 6 more mounts left to go, so yeah, it's quite the make work project, but you know, that's half the fun of it, right? So as you can see, the 2 back ones are on there. So now I gotta start working my way up. Let's see if I can show it there. There's the next set right there, and then before the front wheels, there's a set, and then gotta do those up there. So I mean, I'm not gonna do a video of every single one of them. I mean, there's not much sense because it's just the same thing over and over again. But figure I'd show you how it was done. Like I said, just gotta weld the washer on top of them. Now the washer do overlap the pipe because it's a shade bigger than the pipe. So what I gotta do is, when I put this on, I gotta weld underneath all the ways around. So that's gonna be a little more tricky, but it won't be too bad. I mean, it's still way easier with the body off of it. I mean, it's going to save me a whole lot of misery and maybe some curse words, right? So yeah, it's a good day for being at this. It's I don't know, it's getting close to the end of March, I guess, probably around the 22nd, 23rd maybe. And I'll see if I can show you what it's like outside here now. It's not the nicest day. So, my day off work. Good day to be in the garage and picking at this. Pass away the time. I got some work to do on a customer's vehicle tomorrow. And I also have other vehicles outside I got to work on for other people. So I got a fire going in here. It's pretty warm now. I mean, it's not perfectly warm in here, but it's warm enough to take the chill off. I mean, I could be working in a sweater and be comfortable, but I'll leave the coat on anyway. And gotta have my Tim Hortons coffee to keep me going, you know. Gotta love Tim Hortons, yeah. So I'm gonna get back at it, and I'll probably put it in the video there when I get it all put together, just so you can see how it turned out. So I just got everything welded together there, and this is the finished product. And yeah, before I welded the top washer on, like I said, I had to put the lower rubber bushing in and the washer to bolt it up through the bottom. And as you can see, it bolts up through that hole. You put a socket with extension up through there, and it bolts up to the body. So yeah, it didn't come out too bad. I got 4 of the washers put on there. I still need to go out to the backyard and get the rest of the lower mounts off of the other parts tracker I got out back. It's just too nasty of a day to do it. So I got half of them done. I still got the 4 front ones left to do. And tonight, in about another, I don't know, couple hours, I'll come out and put a second coat of that Por 15 on everything that I did today. And then by tomorrow morning, she should be dry enough so I could put her back outside and work on other projects. So I guess that's going to wrap up another video there. For anybody wondering out there, you know, wondering to tackle a project like this, you know, just go for it. I mean, anybody can do it. Just got to put your mind to it, use a bit of imagination, and, you know, possibilities are endless. I had some people asking me about the 51 International that I'm building there, if I was getting back at it. I hope to this summer. I'd really like to get back at it again this summer, here and there, when I get spare time. But nothing's for sure, right? I mean, it's just so many other things on the go. It's hard to keep up with it all, right? But yeah, that's put on a 2004 Toyota 4Runner with a V8 in it. So the International is going to have all the options that the 4Runner had. It's going to have the newer style dash in it. I'm using the inner door skins with the power windows and everything, and modifying them to fit the outer door skins of the International. So she'll have power windows, power brakes, air conditioning, cruise control. It'll have everything, right? And I'm still not sure which way to go with it. If I'm just going to build a rock crawler out of it, or build it as a daily driver and just use it in the winter time and everything, you know, why not? I mean, it's a project, right? You can do anything you want with it. That's what it's all about. And that one came from South Branch. I found it in the woods out there one day, and the way it was sitting in the ground, sunk in the ground, it just caught my attention, and I was like, I gotta have that. So I tracked down the previous owners, and the sons of the previous owner are still alive, and they were all for it. You know, they said, yeah, give her. The only thing we want is riding it when you get it done. So I mean, that's not a problem. I mean, definitely, right? It used to be a Department of Fisheries truck back in the day, and it was sitting in that field, I'm guessing probably, I don't know, 30-40 years at least. It was there a long time. I still need some parts for it. I'm missing a hood and a tailgate, but I mean, a tailgate's not a necessity, you know. I could go without a tailgate. And the glass is always going to be, probably just had to buy it all new, I guess. The side windows and the back windows are all flat, so that could be all cut. The front windshield is curved though, so I'll have to order that. But yeah, I mean, hopefully I can get at that and get some videos up of that. But until then, I figured I'd put up a video of this for anybody wondering a cheap way to build a body lift, you know. It's the way to go. So until the next one, take care.